Welcome, join us as we explore the mystical insights of the Blood Moon Oracle, revealing profound guidance for your journey ahead. Thank you for watching.
Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. I hope you guys are well today. We're going to take a look at the energy coming in for the month of November. I think we're in Scorpio season. If not, we'll be in it very shortly. But after Scorpio season will be Sagittarius season. That will carry us into next year. And so happy birthday to the Scorpios. And so let's take a look at the energy coming in for November. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel led to do so. If you find yourself subscribing, make sure that you hit the bell so you'll be notified in case we go live in the future. And let's put on a little bit of lemon balm here. And so the overall energy for November, I did pull out all of my cards for the sake of time, is Wish Upon a Star. I do feel like this month is going to be just packed with all kinds of things. It just so happens that I attempted to do this reading this morning. And again, I did like a 40-minute reading and found out that I was on mute the whole time. So here I am redoing the reading. But this morning's reading had a little bit of a different feel than when I'm redoing it. This morning's reading was really about kind of navigating this change of energy that we'll feel in November, and having the courage to navigate the change was what I got from this morning. This one's a little bit different. This is all about understanding our ability to manifest what it is that we desire. Wish upon a star, giving ourselves the space to be able to intend, not only to intend what we want, but to dream and see that come to fruition. And so when I pulled out all of my cards, I did pull out like the energy that we are in November, kind of our heart space through this energy and what we have coming towards us. And so let's go ahead and jump in, because I feel like it's going to be all about being able to take the time for ourselves, to take care of ourselves, to realize what's needed, where it is we should be pouring energy. It's all about health. It could be mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, financial, right? It's about the well-being right now, tapping into our intuition or listening to what's being said internally. And then spiritual partnerships came out as well on this one. And so those are the energies I feel like Spirit is bringing forth for us to really focus in on and attune to. Those are things that will have lots of beautiful offerings for us. So when I looked at the energy to come out in tarot, we have the Queen of Wands that came out and the Queen of Pentacles. And then along with that, we also had the Nine of Swords that came out, which is very interesting because the Nine of Swords says that there is something that's bothering us that may be tempting us to go into worry wart mode, like something that we'll be worried about. And I feel like it's worrying that we're not doing enough, worrying that whether or not we're right where we're supposed to be, doing what we're supposed to be doing. This month may have a little bit of a temptation to do that. But with the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords coming out, this is energy that is on point. This is energy with the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands, paying attention to every little minute detail and having energy to do more than what's necessary. See, the Queen of Wands is full of all of this vibrant energy and all of this ability to do, maybe even overdoing some things, not really paying attention to detail, but just doing. And then the Queen of Pentacles is a little bit more into paying attention to the details, making sure that all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed. But along with this comes this energy of proficiency too, and being in the environment of abundance. I feel like things are going to be really grounded this month with the Queen of Pentacles and abundant. There's going to be an abundance of things this month. This peacock I'm taking a look at, peacocks many times will symbolize prosperity, abundance. Even this peculiarity, peacocks are very beautiful, and many times you'll see every peacock is different. And I feel like that represents like this very um, uniqueness in this experience this month, even with the practical things. I feel like a sense of beauty, but very practical energy with the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. Like, I feel like this could be a month where, like, everything, you feel like everything is happening. It feels like it's happening exactly how it's supposed to. And like nothing is lacking. You are able to, go in and do what you need to do. But then there's still this sense of the Nine of Swords coming in on the back end. It's like, but am I doing enough? This just seems too perfect, right? Is there something missing? Is this right? Right? And I do feel like it is, with the Wheel of Fortune coming out and the Four of Swords to clarify that Nine of Swords. It's like, yeah, everything is unfolding the way that it should. Relax, relax, right? I think that's going to be like one of the themes this month, with time out coming out and health. Spirit is like, yeah, you are doing exactly, what you have been capable of doing, what you've been brought to this moment to do in November. Accept it. It may seem too good to be true, or it may seem just too perfect, or maybe you're worried that things aren't going to fall into place. It will. And so the Four of Swords says, just relax, chill out. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. I almost feel that with the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands too. Don't feel the necessity to do too much, right? Just do what feels right. Stay grounded, stay encouraged, right? Um, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of energy to keep that energy going, of groundedness and encouragement. You just have to flow with it because it's just unfolding. There's nothing that you really need to do. Just exist in the moment. Take care of yourself. Take care of your health. Allow yourself to dream and to visualize where it is that you'd like to see yourself in the future, because the energy in November is going to be very abundant. It's going to be very capable. Between the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands, it's almost like there's going to be this, and I'm hearing like a current of magic flowing through, where everything is possible. The energy that you needed is there, right? You just have to kind of jump in to the current when it comes by. And so this is the energy that's coming out: the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. Being that the queens are heading this energy, it could also talk a lot about just being in receptive mode. Even though these are two of the most doing energies when it comes to the queens, this is about really allowing yourself to operate from your feminine aspects. And you could be a man, you could be a woman. But as we go into how we're going to experience this from a heart perspective, we have the Page of Cups, the Page of Wands, and then we have the Devil coming out. Now, before you jump off of the boat, the devil isn't always a negative energy. Sometimes it talks about our ability to overcome negativity that's going to be present or that we'll be facing. We're talking about the heart space. First of all, let me say that. And because both of the pages came out, I do feel like this month in November, there's going to be something freeing about this month that we'll feel with these pages, because the pages are talking about very young, vibrant, pure energy. And the fact that the devil would come out, I do feel like there's something that is going to be empowering from the heart space. And if there have been things that we've been dealing with that's caused struggle, I feel like through these energies that'll be present here with the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups, we'll be able to overcome them in November. We'll be able to overcome them. It will be sufficient for us to devour anything that might come in and distort the heart space. One of the things that I was hearing when I laid this out, when I first laid out the devil, because the devil talks about this very masculine, innate type of energy that comes out. And what Spirit whispered to me when I laid out the devil was a fleshly heart. Fleshly heart. And I was like, okay, well, what does that mean? When we talk about a fleshly heart, we're talking about a heart that's viable, it's moldable, it's soft and tender, right? It's able to yield to what is needed, or the promptings of the spirit, right? A fleshly heart is loving, it's compassionate, it's receptive to guidance, and it's filled, with spirit like objectives and directives. And so, though it seems like a negative card, I don't think it's negative in any way, in this sense, being that it's coming out in the heart centered energy for this reading. This is about overcoming anything that may have distorted, how we were relating to things, in the past, overcoming those challenges and being free to actually, first of all, be whole within ourselves, and then also be able to relate to others as well, or go forward in the ways that we are being guided to do so. If there's anything that has held that back in the past, I feel like this month provides an opportunity for like this fresh venture to receive information that helps us to move past those obstacles, because pages are also about messaging as well. And so there's going to be possibly messaging coming in. With cups, we might be talking about emotional things, love. With pages, we might be talking about directives, directions being given on how we can go and manifest those things that we desire to experience. There's something really beautiful that's happening in the heart space and how we'll be perceiving and experiencing these energies in November. And I almost feel like it's needing to, or having an opportunity to approach things with a childlike heart, almost with a bit of innocence and pureness, um, a heart that hasn't been bruised or wounded, right? Is able to actually dream bigger. And so there's something about that, overcoming anything that may have caused us to experience anything other than that, and bringing it back to that very simple, purified energy in our hearts for November. There may even be a releasing of things that caused us a lot of pain in the past, so that we can move forward to things that are waiting for us to catch up to it or wake up to it. And then when I looked at, things that will be approaching us coming in November, we have the Page of Pentacles, we have the Hermit that came in reverse, and then the Queen of Swords. And so there's definitely going to be some new experiences, some things that we're going to learn. Again, another page. What's coming towards us is experiences or opportunities to experience something different, experience another way. And it's from a renewed perspective, something that we have most likely not been able to experience yet. And being that the Hermit came in reverse, the Hermit is usually this very, um, energy that likes to be in solitude, an energy that is connected, that gathers information directly from solitude through connection with spirit. But it came in reverse. And so if you're someone that has been used to, or you've been in solitude a lot, I feel like November may challenge you in that way. And you may not be in that energy of solitude this month. I feel like that's what that's saying in reverse. There's something new that's happening and shifting the experience. There's an end of a certain way that has been, while it's opening up to a new way. Even though it may feel uncomfortable, there's something new coming in that's going to teach a different way. And then we look at the Queen of Swords, which is this, again, this feminine energy coming from the queens, of almost like excellence, a learned way of being. I feel like with this could talk about a different way of connecting with people. If you're someone who has had a difficult time connecting, I feel like you get a grip on not only your confidence when you're connecting with others, but even others' receptivity to you. There may be this common understanding around who you are, what you stand for. You may even be representing that and speaking out about what that looks like and what that is. For some of you, this could be around specific connections that have been heavy in the past. I feel like when you stand in this position of announcing, or really being solidified in who you are, what has been heavy in the past when it comes to connections won't be anymore. It won't be anymore. And so the opportunity for this change and experience, I feel like, is what's coming in November. There's going to be like a change, not only in how we're experiencing things, but even in the reality. For some of you, you may have moved recently, or you may be moving. That may have something to do with this change or this shift that's coming in. Um, but it's very beautiful energy. It's a very beautiful experience that I'm seeing, and maybe something that you've long been waiting for. Now, I do see a challenge coming in around the Knight of Wands, which usually says the Wands is the quickest moving energy in the deck, the quickest moving element. And knights move fast anyway. They're moving energy as fire energy. So the challenge may be, as new things and new opportunities open up, the challenge may be not to jump in blindly, right? I do see lots of page energy out here. Pages are very immature sometimes, and the knights can be immature too, because it's such a fire element. And so the challenge with the Knight of Wands may be not to just jump into things, especially when it comes to connections, especially when it comes to committing or making commitments or alleging to certain ideas or even communities or people or relationships, not to jump in blindly. Even though these opportunities may be present and opening up, Spirit also wants you to use discernment and just like really know what you're jumping into before you actually accept it or jump into it. Yeah. Before you give commitment, make sure that you know what it is that you're committing to, right? As all of these things are opening up these new experiences, possibly even new ways of being, new ways of connecting with people. Um, there's still a need to kind of be careful. Okay. Don't get carried away with the good feelings that will come in November and lose all sense of common sense, right? There's something about the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and then I also have the Queen of Cups coming out here too. These are all, these aren't novice energies. These are energies that have learned the lessons, especially with the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords. There's a lot of experience when you reach, this level that says you know what not to do, and you've learned what you want to do. And so all of the queens came out, which says that there is a high level of discernment with these queens, a high level of wisdom in operation as well. And this may also, what you don't see, this may also, with the Queen of Swords, may also be you being in that discerning energy as well, and holding back, knowing and being a little bit discreet, in what you allow yourself to be a part of or what you open up to. And this may be you giving yourself the benefit of the doubt, when it comes to those moments where you feel like you have to ask yourself, should I or shouldn't I take this chance, right? There's a lot of wisdom in operation, especially with what you don't see. The Queen of Cups coming out, this is what you don't see. Lots of intuition with the Queen of Cups. She might be one of the most intuitive of all the queens. It's just operating in a high level of wisdom in November as it pertains to yourself and what's good for you. Sometimes the Queen of Cups can be considered a little bit withdrawn because she's so inwardly connected and she's so in tune with what she needs. Not that she's completely cut off. She's also probably one of the most connected outwardly as well. But it's just that she's reached a level where she's become the master, right, of connection within. She knows what she needs, and she understands the importance of filling her cup first before outpouring to others. And so many times she'll be misconstrued as being a little standoffish. It's just that she may be in a season of knowing that this is the time to pour into self. And so what you don't see is that this energy will be present, and it may in fact cause people to be a little bit shaken, right? Or thrown off where you are concerned. It may cause others to be a little bit shaken or thrown off. And so that still does not mean that you discount yourself and then take others' need before yours. That still doesn't mean that. That still means that you need to still walk in that energy of keeping your health in the forefront. And if that means to, put up a wall so that you can have the time that you need to stay balanced and grounded, then that's what you need to do. And when it's time to come forward out of that, knowing when that time comes as well. But I see November being very, very interesting. It feels like a lot of things are being brought forward. The things that you may have been waiting for a while too. You've reached a point, I feel like, where you're able to handle it now with all of the queens coming out. The warning being the Knight of Wands. It's like, okay, all of this is about to happen, but don't lose yourself, right? Don't lose your sense of common sense in all of this that's happening right now. For some, it could be coming into a level of stability that you haven't had before or haven't had in a while. For some, it could be being able to operate in things that it feels amazing, right? For some, it could be coming into, connection with other people. It could be around connections, but it just feels like there's a lot that's happening in November. And the overall message here is to make sure you stay connected with your intuition. Like, use common sense, use discernment here. No matter how good it feels, you still need to use discernment, and take time out. Put yourself first. Make sure that you are considering your health during this time. That's important. Okay. And so that's what I have here. That's what I got. I wanted to keep this very short. For some of you, you may have those coming towards you that may get a little bit, like I said, a little shaken up, because there's something, I feel like your energy signature is different. And people may not know how to approach you. They may be trying to figure out how they need to approach you, or whether or not they should. Because the energy that you're giving off is, the energy that says that I am really putting myself first. And not everybody will read that as being an invitation. Though you're still open, I feel like there's also something there about you that's saying, it's my time, right? And I don't mean to sound like selfish or egotistical, but this is a time where spirit is asking you to put yourself first. And not everybody will really understand that you are actually on assignment by putting yourself first, right? But that's between them and spirit. As long as you do what you're being asked to do, I feel like everything is going to unfold as it should in November. And so, lots of victories to be had in November. And you may feel just very powerful in November too, when it comes to going after what you want, when it comes to overcoming personal things that you've been dealing with for a while. I do see some challenges around you having to come out of your shell. I see that very big, and being, or it's connecting with people in a way that you're not used to. I see opportunities coming in November for that. And so, that may be something to look forward to. But even in that, I feel like you standing in your, the truth of who you are is like what you're being called to do. It's not hard. It's going to be different, but it does not change who you are. You're being called to be you, right? And let everybody else be them. And I feel like everything that needs to take place will, the way that it needs to. And so November is a beautiful energy. I do see Virgo energy out here, several times. I see lots of earth energy with the Queen of Wands, lots of fire energy, lots of Sagittarius, Scorpio energy, a lot of water energy out here. So I see, all the queens came out, and that's cup energy. It's water energy. So lots of emotional fulfillment coming out this month. But then I also see all of the pages. Well, most of the pages came out, which says that there's going to be, a lot of learning this month that's going to take place. A lot of new experiences, a lot of messaging that may come through this month as well. Yeah. And so that's what I have here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Until next time, like, share, comment. Let me know how it resonates. This is the energy for November. Until next time, take care, like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell if you find yourself subscribing for the first time. Again, Blood Moon Oracle here. My name's Leticia. Till next time. Bye.